How
Thank
does
you.
it feel?
Unbelievable. Like we just talked to somebody else downstairs, and you know the wait from Saturday afternoon to Thursday is long, right? And you can only practice so much, and only do so many things in practice, and everybody's a little bored, everybody's a little edgy. So like I was glad to finally get to Thursday, and I was worried, frankly, how we were gonna respond to being off, because we haven't been off like that all year. I don't think 5 days, 6 days. So. But when I seen them take the floor and warm up, I was like, okay, we're gonna be fine. Everybody's energy was good. You guys shot it pretty good. So getting through that period was hard, and you know it feels unbelievable. I'm sure the more we think about it, the better it's gonna feel. So it's a lot of fun.
Girls, how's it feel compared to how you thought it would feel?
Good. It's surreal, honestly. I mean, like I said downstairs, watching my sisters play twice here. Like growing up, I've always wanted to play here and win a WPIAL championship. It's awesome.
I would have to agree with her because honestly, I came and watched games here last year for like the boys and the girls, and I was like, wow, that has to feel like the best thing ever. So.
Erica, speaking of your older sisters and Elena winning 2 here, of course, at Norwin, you're just a sophomore, you got 1 now, so is the goal to try to get more than her or what?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I wish we kind of made it far last year. I could have had 2 already, but 1, that's just enough for now.
Gotta start somewhere.
Gotta start somewhere, yeah.
You had a really big game too, with 28 points. You already reached 1,000 for your career just as a sophomore, but was this one of your best performances considering the stage and the opponent?
Oh, definitely. I think we started off a little slow, and I think my teammates just kind of helped me out, passed me the ball. I just hit my shot, so it was great.
Coach, can you talk about your team's 3-point shooting tonight? I know that's kind of been your bread and butter all season, but to do it on this stage,
I don't know what the numbers are. I haven't seen any numbers. So.
it's like 60%.
Okay. I mean, what I'm going to tell you is, and I said this downstairs too. Like, I have basketball kids, right? They have high IQs, and they really work their tails off. And like between these 2 girls sitting here, absent the 3 or 4 that are downstairs, they've played thousands of games, right? And we shoot a lot. It's something we do in practice a lot. And it's like, you know, you got to get your work in. It's a skill, right? And to get good at it and stay good at it, you got to hone it. And sometimes we get bored shooting, right? But we keep shooting, right? And you know, that's part of it is that, and then the other part of it is like the mental toughness that they have. Like if they shoot 1 or 2 and they don't go in, they're not going to stop shooting, right? And we encourage that. Like that's our game plan. We know you're good. You're going to find it. Just stay with it. Don't worry about it. If it's open, shoot it. We'll go rebound it, shoot it again. And you know, so you combine that work and you combine that mental toughness. Like you have nights like tonight where you shoot it really well, right?
Maya, what does it mean to you as a senior to come here and play here for the first time and to be able to raise that championship trophy?
I mean, it's something that I'll never experience again, obviously, but for it being my senior year, I dreamt of this since, sophomore year?
Yeah.
Freshman year was something else. So. But, you know, it's just like something that I'll never get to experience again, so it was really important for me and all of my teammates to accomplish this for my last year, so.
Bill, you got nothing?
When you the familiarity factor, knowing them so well, did you see anything different from them tonight?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think they worked hard to take Maya out of the game, right? They played Clark's, you know, she's such a tough kid. I really respect her game, and she played to the end. Like it was at the end, she was still playing, right? And like her assignment was Maya, right? So we talked about that a lot throughout the week. That if I'm them, I'm not going to play us the same way they've been playing us because it hasn't been successful. So they're going to try to do something to take somebody away from us, right? And you know, it's hard, right? Because you're used to being part of that activity, and then all of a sudden, wherever you go, right? You know, we put some new sets in and some things that we're trying a little bit of different stuff. But I've learned coaching, like you have your most success running the stuff that kids are the most familiar with, right? Especially when it gets tight, right? You see all those things where coaches draw stuff up on the sideline. Invariably, they never work, right? Yeah. So you try to run your stuff. Well, that being said, you know, they pretty much knew our stuff, right? Yeah. So it was hard, and they were hard on her. Like she worked her tail off. Like they were on her the whole way up the floor all night long. Now Avery Davis stepped in, you know, a good bit, helped with that, and that was big. And we talked about that too, right? So you try to kind of think of what would I do to beat me, right? I'm going to try to take Maya away or Erica away. I'm going to try to change the flow of the offense somehow, right? So I didn't know if he would run maybe a box and one or a triangle and two, like anything, right? Like we played Southside Beaver, there was a half-court trap. That was their thing. Yeah, okay, right? So there was a lot of familiarity with what their offense was, though. Like we defend pretty well and we want to get after it. And there wasn't much. He added a couple sets that we picked up in his film, and we studied them, and we adjusted for them. So, they got some stuff off loose balls and kind of good bounces here and there, but like the overall half-court stuff was really just them going downhill. What did Clark end up having?
13.
Okay. What did the other kid have that hit the 2 threes? Who was that?
Sopranos, I think she only had 8.
She only had 8.
Okay, and then the other.
Battles at 11.
Okay.
But yeah, I was going to ask you just about, you have 2,000-point scorers by your side here, but also you have Avery Davis. She had 14 for you today. What
Yep.
kind of an impact and how much did she mean to this game and this team all year?
Oh, can't say enough. Like every one of these kids is like integral to this success. If you took any one of them out completely, you wouldn't have had this success, right? And there's been nights where, we weren't going well and somebody stepped up, where Maya was hurt and Avery stepped up. Like Avery's had a big contribution this year. And, as the game went on tonight, one of the things we talked about at the beginning of the year is her staying strong in the fourth quarter, right? Because last year, as we went through the playoffs, we struggled with our endurance in the fourth quarter, and it was pretty much 2 kids that were running around in the fourth quarter, and the rest of the kids were tired, right? So Avery worked hard on that, and you saw that tonight, especially in the fourth quarter when the game was like 9 or 10, and it could have went one way or another way. Nope, she was good. So big deal. And DePilka was a big deal tonight. Like she gives us all the grit stuff, the loose balls on the floor, the weak side rebounds, all that stuff, right?
And Abby had, I think, 12 rebounds.
Abby's unbelievable, right? She's, so if I could have showed you Abby at the beginning of the year and Abby where she is right now, you like it's crazy. But we talked a lot about, hey, you have a job to do, and it's hit the boards. We got to hit. If we're gonna win these games, you got to hit the boards. Well, I think that's her 3rd double in a row, maybe. I don't know about Northgate, but I know who did we play after Northgate? Rochester, she had 11. Southside Beaver, she had 11 or 12. Tonight she had 11, so that's her 3rd.
She had 14 tonight.
She had 14 rebounds? Okay, so I mean, you get that from someone, you should win the game. That's how I feel, right?
And like you said, it was like single digits, I think, early in the fourth quarter at one point. You end up winning by 21.
Yeah.
I mean, how are you able, and Erica and Maya, you can answer this too, like how were you guys able to really just, put them away for good when they were making that last run at you?
I think our defense definitely stepped up. We kind of caught on to some of the things they were doing. And obviously like rebounds, getting steals, jump balls, all that kind of stuff really helped us to convert on the offensive side, I think.
That's something I wanted to ask about defensively. I mean, there's been a lot of talk, obviously, for good reason about your offensive performance tonight, but Serra really never got into a rhythm offensively, it seemed, especially in the second half. How would you kind of gauge the defensive performance tonight?
Fantastic. Like I'm a coach that believes offense comes from good defense, right? And we talk about that all the time as a team. And we had a game plan for what they were going to do. He runs a lot of good sets and how we're going to handle those sets, and when the switches happened, who had certain people, right? And it's easy to talk about that, right? It's like talking about playing golf, and you go out and play and you hit it all over the place. So once you get into the game, then you got to see what they're doing, and then you start to react to that, right? And understand when the switch happens, now breeze open on the block, so somebody's going to slide down for that. And once we, it's a game, right? Like a lot of people get excited because it's 8-2. Well, right? It's what happens at the end of the game, and it's the adjustments the team makes, right? And I say this or say that, but it's what they're doing with each other on the floor, like. So that's kind of the answer to that, right? I think too, they just got tired, right? They're chasing us around. That's a lot to chase around all night. And you're chasing me around, and then somebody's hitting a 3 or somebody's getting a backdoor layup, and wears you out. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
How's Jayla? And did you guys rally around that when she went down?
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, everybody loves Jayla. She's one of the favorite kids on the team, right?
She started out pretty hot today, right?
She did, right? She
Couple
really
shots early.
She really brought her game face, and I want to clear something up, right? Because she continues to be announced as a junior, and she's a sophomore. Okay, we for whatever reason, our AD had initially listed her like at the beginning of the year as a junior, and so a lot of press stuff went out as her being a junior. Well, he's corrected it because I've asked him to, and I know that he has, but a lot of you guys have old stuff. apparently so does the Whitfield, right? Because she's like, I'm not a junior. But yeah, I mean, like, it's concerning because she brings a lot of toughness on the floor, and then she can hit threes, she can get to the basket, she rebounds. Like, she's a very good player. So losing her, you know, we really had to rally as a team on the floor and say, okay, no, that's something that's a big loss, because, you know, she's 6, 7, 8 rebounds a night when she's playing, you know, and 10 points, right? So that was a big loss for us. The game might have been a little different earlier had she stayed in, maybe not, but it might have, you know. And I think she just rolled it real bad. I think she'll be okay. You know, she's traditionally had that problem. She wears an ankle brace, so like it's just a thing with her.
You dominated your way through the WPIAL playoffs now. Does this look like a team that can make a deep state playoff run?
If we are healthy, I think we can. You know,
Some of the student section was chanting, "We want Kennedy."
Yeah, I know. I mean, and you know, we played them last year. You know, last year, in all honesty, we were upset that we dropped a game to Burgettstown. I think in the quarterfinals, and you know, they just beat us. They were better that night. They did the things they needed to do, and then we realized we kind of, as a team, as a group, we wasted a really good opportunity, right? So, we kind of got in the state playoffs and said, okay, we got to work our way back through to the number 1, which eventually we got to Shenango or whoever it was, I think, and beat them. So then that put us in the semis with Kennedy, right?
Eisenworth, right? You beat.
I don't know. No, I can't.
No, you're right. Yeah, Shenango.
Shenango, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So we kind of took their spot, and then we got them in the semis, right? And you know, we know them like they know us, and we did a nice job for about a half, and then we really ran out of gas. If you went and looked at that film again, we were 2 on 5, right? And I think we're built a little better than that this year. I think we understand that it matters to play just as physical and difficult and tough in the fourth quarter as it does in the first quarter. That being said, they are very good, and you know, coach's daughter's on that team. She's very good. I know they added a kid who's a pretty nice scorer. What the heck's her name? Can't think of her name. And obviously Lake Fields is Lake Fields. So, you know, you still got to get through the other teams. I don't know. I know McCourt lost last night, which really surprised me. They lost to who?
Not sure. Yeah, Serra plays them, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And we played whoever beat them, but I know I was surprised because, you know, I'm always peeking, right, taking a look to see, and I'm like, yeah, McCourt's, they're always very well coached and a good team. And then I saw that they lost last night, so I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. So whoever beat them, they lost by a point. I'm sure it'll be a good team. So that's the plan, right? Get a little rest, make sure we're all healthy, and then and do the best we can. Obviously, we're going to come down here Saturday and root for the boys.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.